At time with Jordan. Is this mic on? The mic is live. Alright, we are ready to go. Footy talk. Alright. On the radio, let's talk footy. Yes, this is AI. Keen to get started. Pump those ratings up high. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Alrighty guys, welcome back to another episode of Airtime with Jordan. I'm your host Jordan Fasso, and today we've finished with all the season previews. Going to go through the overall league sort of preview now and just give a bit of a summary of where I'm at with all the teams, all the awards to be given out, and where I think everything's going to land in that regard. So I'll go through the rankings first, and then I'll get into the Brownlow, Coleman, Rising Star, some first All Australian picks for me, who I think is going to win the Premiership, Norm Smith, and then just finish off with just some of the teams I'm keen to watch this year and who I'm going to be keeping an eye on from on the KO perspective, switch around on those games. So little plug there for KO, good on yous. And I'll give my smokey picks as well. So I'll give the actual pick of who I predict's going to win the awards and stuff, and Premiership, and then I'll go through and just give a little bit of an under the radar pick for you guys as well, for the guys to keep an eye on. And we'll come back to the end of this at the end of the year and see how I've gone overall. I don't expect to be doing too well here, but because you never know how things are going to shake out. So let's get into it. So going through the ladder, and I'll go through my power rankings first. So this is heading into the season. I've sort of gone through these and given them in individually when I've gone through the season previews for each team, but so everyone has it in totality. This is before the season started. This is how I had everyone. I'm not going to go away from my priors now that it's just one round into the season. But so to start off, we've got Brizzy ranked 1, GWS 2nd, Hawthorn I've got ranked 3rd, Geelong 4th, Sydney 5th, Collingwood 6th. Not feeling amazing about that one after the first week, but I'm going to stick fat. Freo 7th, Port 8th, Adelaide 9th, Carlton 10th, Gold Coast 11th, Bulldogs 12th, Essendon 13th, St Kilda 14th, Melbourne 15th, West Coast 16th, North Melbourne 17th, and Richmond winning the wooden spoon. So that's my power rankings going into the year. The ladder predictions changed slightly based on who after going through the fixtures. So they're sort of where I'm thinking teams are going to land in terms of the power rankings. Ladders similar. I've got Brisbane, GWS, Geelong, Hawthorn, Collingwood, Sydney, Freo, Adelaide, Carlton, Port Adelaide, Gold Coast, the Doggies, Essendon, St Kilda, Melbourne, West Coast, North Melbourne, and Richmond. So that's sort of where I'm at with the ladder and the projections I have for the season. Keen to see how I go come the end of the year. Obviously going to be some injuries and stuff that might shift that around a fair bit, but still a fun exercise to go through, and hopefully it gives you a guide on where I'm at with some of the teams heading into the year, and hopefully I'm right for my sake anyway. Quickly, let's go through the Brownlow. This is the big award, the night of nights in the AFL calendar, other than the actual games themselves, I guess. But my pick for the Brownlow this year is Will Ashcroft. I'm going to say it. I'm going to call it. I'm not even going to put him in the smokey section. I just think he has the attention of the umpires now. He won the Norm Smith last year against the 2-time Brownlow medalist in Lachie Neale, who they could have easily given it to, mind you, and they still, I know the umpires don't vote on that, but, he still caught the attention of everyone. He played an incredible down the stretch last year. He can take an even bigger workload after a full preseason this year. The Lions are going to win a lot of games this year, which is something I expect, obviously ranking them first in my rankings. So I think he is in for a big year and could be the youngest to win it in quite a while. And that's why I'm going Will Ashcroft to win the Brownlow. And I think that there's obviously a big chance that Lachie Neale steals a lot of votes off him as well. But I think that if one thing we saw in the grand final is that Will Ashcroft got those votes over Lachie Neale in the first place. So I think he's a genuine chance at this year. My smokey pick for the Brownlow is Finn Callaghan. Maybe not so much a smokey after his first game, but I did say on their preview pod before the season that he could end up being their best mid by the end of the year, and that prediction is looking pretty good at the moment. I think that he he would definitely stand out in the midfield, and some of their other best players are, key position players or forwards. So, Sam Taylor, Jesse Hogan, those sort of guys, like, they're not going to poll the same as a mid does necessarily. And yeah, Tom Green might take some votes off him, but I think Finn Callaghan just stands, a bit head and shoulders above them. And similar to the the Will Ashcroft pick, sorry, is that Finn Callaghan plays for the Giants. I expect the Giants to win a lot of games. I think that he's gonna stand up in those games. So yeah, he's probably not the biggest Smokey pick, but I think given the fact that I've picked Will Ashcroft to win the whole thing, that I'll get a bit of leeway with him being a Smokey for the Brownlow. As for the Coleman medal, I've gone with Sam Darcy for the Doggies. I think that the Doggies are going to rely on him pretty heavily this year. He's clearly their priority down forward at the moment. He, kicks goals in a multitude of ways. He's able to get them in, obviously marking impacts, on the lead. But he also has the ability to kick them off, from ground ball gets. And we saw some crazy kicks from him, especially in that elimination final against the Hawks. He just kicks one straight out of the ruck and out of a pack and just bounced through somehow. So, the fact that he plays around the ball too, in the ruck, will always be involved in the game. So I think that he's going to find himself, kicking bags of 3-4 consistently this year. I think that there's a real chance that he wins the Coleman here. And I think that the Doggies are just going to need him. And I think the sort of slow start for Jamara is going to mean that he's not going to kick many. Cody Waitman's out of the team for the start of the year for the first 8 weeks. He's not going to kick any. Obviously Aaron Norton's still there. That he's never been he's never consistently been in the mix for Coleman medal or anything like that. So I'm going with Sam Darcy. I think he's going to have a big year. My Smokey here is Riley Thilthorpe for the Coleman medal. If this guy gets going, then I think the competition is in some strife. I don't think there's a single defender in the AFL who can even slightly match him for size. And just the momentum this guy's going to be able to get on a lead, you just wouldn't want to stand in his way. Similar to the, I was a bit young for it, but you've seen the highlights and you hear the stories of Plugger Lockett. No one wanted to get in his way on the lead, and this, I dare say that anyone's going to want to get in Riley Thilthorpe's way either. So this dude is an absolute brick shit house, and I am keen to see him on the paddock this year, and hopefully he gets an extended run at it. And look, if Adelaide are as good as I sort of expect them to be, someone's got to kick their goals, and I think that this guy has the capability to kick, bags of 5-6 in a game easily. So, he's the one for me as the Smokey for the Coleman medal this year. The Rising Star, I don't think that we really need to do a Smokey section here. They're all sort of untried rookies, so I don't think you need to really worry about who's maybe going to come out of the woodwork. I think they're all sort of unknown quantities to a degree, so I'm just going to give my top 2 picks for the award, and that's going to be Sam Lawler, who, of course, number 1 pick overall. Richmond's going to play the kids all year. He's going to probably play 20 plus games, barring any injuries, setbacks, and he looks the real deal, I think. And the other one is Isaac Kako. Really liked what I saw from him in the preseason. I think everyone has, and I think that there's going to be a bit of hype about the Essendon young core this year, and that's why I think that he's a genuine chance as well to win the Rising Star, kick a few goals. I think forwards are actually I think they're pretty capable of winning the Rising Star. I don't think it's a midfielder's award necessarily. I think that Isaac Kako has a very good chance of winning this as well. First All-Australian picks. So that's sort of a fun segment, I think. I've got 2 guys that I think that are a genuine chance. Obviously, Will Ashcroft I'm going to have to put in there if I think he's going to win the Brownlow. I think he probably makes an All-Australian if he does that as well. So I'll put him in there first and foremost. And then secondly, I've got Will Day. So I think that, a bit of a Hawthorn affiliation there. And surprise, surprise, my Smokey is also a Hawthorn player. But I think Will Day, if he's able to stay healthy for the full year, he is Hawthorn's best player. I think he's our most important player as well, and should be rewarded as such if the Hawks go, get anywhere near the top 4. I don't think there's a reason why Will Day won't be in the All-Australian team in that regard. I think he's already caught the attention of people after round 1, so let's see how he goes in round 2, and hopefully gets another good performance under his belt. And then my Smokey for first All-Australian appearances is the Wiz. It is Nick Watson. I think that by the similar token, based on Hawthorn's success and the spotlight they're going to be under, I think there's a real chance that he gets an All-Australian blazer this year. He had, like, if you look at Hawthorn's forward line, it's built to, built around all these small forwards, and he's probably probably after Dylan Moore. It's probably a bit harsh to Dylan Moore, but he's probably the most talented after that. And but the basis I'm picking him on is that I think there's a chance that he leads Hawthorn's goal kicking this year, and I think the fact with him being him being on what everyone expects to be a top team this year could see him wearing the blazer come the end of the year if he does indeed lead Hawthorn's goal kicking. So that's sort of why I've got Nick Watson in there. I think that's all I'm going to get for the first All-Australian appearances. But then let's get into the Premiership pick. I've got the Lions. I've got them ranked as my first power ranking team, and then also in the ladder projection. So I just can't bet against them at this point in the season. They obviously did it last year. They have sustained success through ups and downs over the last sort of 5-6 years. I'm not going to bet against them, especially when the age profile of their list is still in that sweet spot to contend. So they have some new faces, and they've brought in another Ashcroft, so I think that they're primed to repeat. And I'm not going to go against them as the best team in the league at the moment. My smokey for the Premiership is I'm going someone outside. I ranked outside of the top 8 for the power rankings, but I think just have that upside. And I'm going heavy on the Queensland teams here, but I think the Gold Coast Suns are a smokey to win the Premiership. Probably a very outside chance, and I spoke about them in the season preview. I'm not necessarily convinced that the mid and forward connection is quite there yet, nor is the forward line ready in general either. But if they do improve markedly in that department, if their mid forward connection, then there's a chance that they can go all the way. I think they play on the no limits sort of mantra, and no one expects them to do anything. No one's ever expected Gold Coast to do anything. So when you couple that, I think that can be kind of a good thing at times, But when they also have one of the best defenses in the league, that's going to win them some games, and it's going to keep them in games. And if they end up having enough firepower through the middle and up forward, then they're going to be a real chance, I think, to upset some teams. At least if they make the finals, then why not, sort of thing for me. They're as talented as anyone. They have enough talent on their list. So it's just a matter of how that forward mid connection goes, and if the forward line's able to kick a winning score. But a few ifs there, but there is a world where I can see that happening. Let that be known. So I've gone for Gold Coast Suns as a smokey for the Premiership this year. Norm Smith, based on the fact that I think Brisbane are going to win it, I'm just going with that. I'm going to go Will Ashcroft again to win the Norm Smith. And then for the smokey for the Norm Smith, I'm going to go Zach Bailey. I think he's shown at times to be a big game player, and I think he could be a chance if they get up. He can kick 3 or 4 goals in a game and get 20 touches. I think there's a chance here that he could win that. And let's close out this segment today with just the sort of watchable teams going into the season. So the teams that I'm the most excited to, if I'm bouncing around KO on a Saturday or Sunday, who I'm going to want to watch play the most, and who I'm going to tune into regardless of sort of who they're playing themselves. So I think for me, the Gold Coast Suns for sure. There's just so much young talent on this team. I want to see how it all sort of fits together, and which guys sort of break out this year, because I expect a few of them will. So it's going to be an exciting year to watch the Suns, I think, up there. GWS, as always, they're just a really fun team to watch. The Orange Tsunami, if you will. They have an abundance of players that I just love watching. Toby Green, first and foremost, he's one of my favourite players in the league. Sam Taylor, I just love how he goes about it. He's awesome to watch as well. Brent Daniels too, he's just an incredible player. Finn Callahan hopefully breaking out this year with my Brownlow smokey pick. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on GWS. Essendon is another one that I never thought I would say, but I think they're just going to be fun this year. I've long been one to switch off Essendon games just because they never really have an exciting team. But I think this year is a different story. The they've got the development of like Kako and Caddy as well to keep you entertained, and then you've got guys like Sam Durham, who's just like, I just love watching Sam Durham play footy, and then Jai Caldwell as well is just a hard nosed sort of guy, gets after it. Zach Merritt is just class personified. He is awesome to watch. And I think that he's going to do a great job of leading this team this year. I think Harry Jones as well is an interesting player for them as well. So, they've got a lot of pieces that I think that maybe not for this year in terms of just on-field success, but I'm pretty excited to watch the Dons this year, which, as a Hawthorn fan, probably not the easiest thing to say, but I'm here for the Bombers this year. I've never been. This is probably the most excited I've been to watch them play in a long time. So. Yeah, you've got me in Essendon, and there you go, Essendon fans, if you're listening. But and then to round this out for watchable teams on KO bouncing around on a Saturday or Sunday, give me Adelaide. This is very much a Riley Thilthorpe segment, but I'm just keen to see him play. So I've gone it's maybe not even a watchable team. I just want to watch Riley Thilthorpe play if he gets on the paddock. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the teams. They're my picks. Hopefully. I'll save this and we'll come back to it at the end of the year, and hopefully I've got a few of these right, and if not, we can laugh about how shit I am at predicting stuff. So either way, I'm down, and let's get into footy this season. Alrighty guys, I'll be back next week with some weekly wrap-up content, and yeah, we'll keep it fresh this year and try out some new segments and have some fun along the way. So enjoy guys. Hopefully this influx of episodes has been worth a listen for all you footy fanatics out there, and keen to watch the season. Alrighty, catch you guys.